Hey, Quorum,
Yes.
we're going to take a break from the lolcows and kind of dive into the streamer atmosphere here. Are you ready to learn about Keffals?
I am a local.
The banana best show! Greatest is cooking! Hell yeah! The banana best show! The banana best show! Soaring the sick in the dumb world. Laughing at them cause we walk the smoke. The banana best show!
So, we covered Keffals in a previous video,
Ugh.
kind of going over some of the past and some of what she's done and what, has happened. Well, Mutahar, did I say it right? I always feel like I say it wrong.
Mutahar, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yes. Some ordinary gamer. He did a deep dive on her, which covers pretty much everything that we covered, except for it goes deeper into the HRT and the Catboy Ranch stuff. So I wanted to kind of cover that.
So for people that haven't seen our video, it's out there.
Yes.
It's on I think. This is a trans woman that is left leaning, connected to the people like Destiny, which she did false allegations towards him
Yes.
and got him kicked out because transphobic. Also lied about being harassed
Well,
for
lied.
money,
She lied that Destiny doxed her.
and for the most part, is considered to be boring as shit.
Yes. And a drug addict. Can't forget
Oh,
about
she
that.
lives in Ireland too.
Right now.
To get away from the
Maybe.
hate.
I'm not sure where she's at now.
Going to hell, that's where she's going to go.
I mean, that's fair. So I'm going to kind of do a quick little thing here, kind of deep dive quickly into what he's found about her whole thing with the asking for money. Because she did a whole, hey, this bad thing happened to me, give me money, let's raise money for me, GoFundMe.
She's also the poster child for going against Kiwi Farms.
Yes.
She's
She
the
actually,
number one person.
She tried to get them taken down, got them taken down for like a couple days or a week or something like that.
It still had litigations out the wazoo because we follow all the locale stuff, and the owner of Kiwi Farms is heavily into like he's like cross streams with a lot of the things we cover.
Yeah.
I hear about Keffals on that aspect all the time, so, which is funny because like Kiwi Farms, no matter how you say it, they could have like a charity is always going to be connected to being a bad place on the internet because of her.
Yep. So, with no further ado, let's let Mutahar say some stuff.
Oh, you got a
Police
haircut.
had confiscated their devices, resulting in significant financial damages.
They seized
So, we're starting out right from where somebody had called the police on her and they went and arrested her, and she was saying they were dead naming her and calling her he.
Because that's your fucking name.
Yeah, that was your legal name, and apparently it was on some old case files, possibly, but there's still no evidence that it happened. But
both my personal and work phone, as well as the work computer that I broadcast on Twitch from.
And I'm
Not only
boring.
that, but the police seized my fiance's cell phones and laptop, as well as their external drive, which contained the only copy of their PhD thesis.
Mikey.
25 seconds is all it took. Go ahead.
She is. I'll give her the she title, whatever.
Yeah, the
Most
only reason I'm
boring
saying
fucking
she.
voice. I don't feel like this is important because she seems like she doesn't want to put any effort into it.
Yeah, this is like
This is
just
the
here.
documentation about
this,
this thing about and
uh-huh,
and that and
yeah.
then I'm a woman. Can't you see that in my life filled eyes?
Being a woman makes me so happy.
I am. Oh man! Now I'm thinking of like Droopy as a trans woman, I'm so happy now. I'm happy to be a woman.
and other important university
Important universe.
documents. Because of the negligence of the police, we were both left functionally unemployed.
Functionally
And I spent
unemployed.
thousands of dollars replacing our computer.
What kind of language is that? Functionally unemployed. What aren't you?
Computers and cell phones.
And this was one of her justifications to launch the GoFundMe, to recoup her losses.
I started a GoFundMe to move immediately, recoup my losses,
What
and
kind of
build a
fuck?
legal fund
Okay,
to protect
Mikey.
my rights.
Yeah.
Can you do that pose right now? You're doing it wrong. It's like we started a GoFundMe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm filled with life. I'm a living being. I'm not a robot. Give me money. Like, it's gonna be one of those videos. I
But
know
there
it.
were no losses to recoup. The devices were returned after 3 days.
But that doesn't
I eventually
matter.
got my stuff back in like 3 days and got an apology from the chief of police.
That's nice.
So, yeah, that was really nice.
But
Yeah, I'm
remind
so
you,
happy.
spent thousands of dollars to replace everything, even though she got it back in 3 days.
Not
So
nice
happy.
how they responded to the situation, but I'll take it.
Now, if we're to
I'll
believe
take
that
it.
she meant 3 days after the swatting, that would place it on August 8th, a day before the GoFundMe started. There's also footage of Clara picking up her belongings from the police station, where you can see this property bag. It heavily resembles the property bag seen in her initial video. A close-up of one of the labels shows us a date of August 8th, 2022. This again implies that she got her stuff back before the video and GoFundMe ever even went live, and knowingly lied about needing to buy a new cell phone and computer. Even if you don't want to make that a goal of $20,000. The page claims that if this amount was exceeded, the funds would be allocated to a legal fund to protect herself against ongoing and future threats to her safety. However, this was later changed too. I am keeping the GoFundMe up, but all donations are going directly to my legal fund, which I will be using to
AKA, this is getting a lot of money. I'm going to keep this up and keep getting money.
seek justice. Now, this is a very, very important distinction because it means all the donations past the first 20 grand were explicitly for legal action. See, Clara gradually kept raising the goal until it reached over $100,000 on the 20th. If you want to be technical, it actually never ended because she's still taking donations to this day. In fact,
You can go fund her right now if you want to. Which
Fund me. Guys, girls. Hey, Mikey. You should fund us
there wasn't even a fixed
by buying a t-shirt. Banana Bear Show.
at least if you fund us, you get something in return.
You could
amount,
get
which is-
this shirt right here. See my lifeless body moving? Yeah, I'm happy. Happy, happy. Just like this other shirt. That's a bear on it with a microphone. Yeah. You like shirts? Good. We have another one that has Japanese themes on it. It's Origato Mr. Man Woman thing.
Abato.
is odd, as it makes it seem like her goal was to basically raise as much money as possible rather than afford an intentional expense.
Huh. Also, Mutahar, he actually gives $5. So he's like, so does this mean I can complain now and ask about it? And we're skipping ahead. As soon as I can get it.
We should bring up? You have to remember, this was a story that got mainstream coverage. There were over 150 articles published about the situation, including The Guardian, NBC, CNN, Bloomberg, the Associated Press, and Canadian state-funded news outlet CBC. Popular politicians like Jagmeet Singh of the NDP party took a stand by her publicly. Normies were led to believe a series of events that did not occur, which was enough for trolls to bombard the hotel with pizzas. The next day, she
So this is when she
I
got
love those
fucked.
like dude, trolls, their weapons. Do you want to use a gun? No, let's get pizzas.
And then I'm gonna fear for my life because I got pizza delivered to me.
uploaded a video declaring things had escalated and she was now in hiding. If you recall, another goal of hers was to move out immediately after someone hacked her Uber Eats account and sent $500 worth of food.
No,
So
that's
what happened,
crappy.
I woke up
That is crappy.
and I got an email that the Uber, the email for my Uber Eats account was changed.
But she doesn't seem that upset about it. Like, never does she seem that upset about anything.
Mikey, it's because she's a fucking robot.
I mean, that's true.
And then I looked outside the door and there was like at least $500
Because if she was like a human being, wouldn't she have a period every month?
worth of food ordered with my hacked Uber account. So I got doxxed again. Except this time I also got
You can't dox a robot.
hacked.
She expedited an already planned trip to Europe. Her rationale was that London police didn't have the resources to stop online trolls. And then she went live to provide further details.
Staying with
Okay.
a friend,
So this
I'm safe.
is her out of the country, and she
Things
gets
are
doxxed
good.
again.
Don't tell people what country. It is completely fine. Do you know how dense Ireland is?
She's dumb.
Very dense country. I do not think it's gonna be a problem.
She was staying with a friend named Ellen. Her ex-fiancé never moved over for reasons we're actually going to discuss later. Ellen had already been doxxed months prior, and their apartment was found within 24
So if you're scared in one state or in one place and you move to another, don't move in with somebody who's already been doxxed.
Well, Mikey, robots aren't the smartest. AI is not to the standard that we all know.
hours, and a troll took this photo outside their building. They were able to find her location just by using a doorknob.
That's pretty impressive. Whoever did
Don't-
that,
Don't fuck with 4chan or
Nope.
Kiwi Farms. They've done some incredible things, and you got to give your head off. If you hate like those websites, I understand. There's a lot of fucked up shit and like gay ops going on. That's what they call it. But you got to admit they get shit done.
yeah.
If they're passionate enough, they will do anything.
So she got doxxed again, but what does she do?
The risk of doxing. For example, not buying equipment specifically for IRL streaming and announcing where you're going to be in advance. At one point, Ellen revealed they were going to go to visit a poutine truck in Belfast. The owner received bomb threats, which Clara used to tease an IRL stream on Twitter. Hey, maybe it's a
Which is pretty bad because Belfast is in Northern Ireland. Where bombs happen a lot. You know that zombie song?
Oh,
That's what it's kind of.
It's a one-off mistake, right? A day later, Ellen publicly fielded suggestions for future IRL stream locations in Ireland. I want to reiterate, if you are in hiding, why would you buy new streaming equipment specifically for streaming in the public? And then
Robot.
also share where you plan on going in advance? By
Robot.
her own admission, she wanted to stoke the flames in order to maximize publicity.
By intentionally making myself a lightning rod so I could make Kiwi Farms more vicious and attack me to the point where Cloudflare had no choice. Because every time they attacked me, I publicized.
Also since admitted that this entire
it's stupid. I hate the phrase lightning rod now.
Well, Mikey, robots need electricity, and a lightning rod would help with that. Also, did you notice that robot had pink hair? Humans don't have pink hair.
entire cover story was all a lie. Nowadays, her explanation for leaving the continent was not to escape online harassment, but to escape her ex-fiancé, Alex, who she now accuses of being abusive. To not get too deep into it,
So one of the whole reasons she started the GoFundMe was to leave the country. But now that she's left the country and has $100,000 in the GoFundMe, she is saying it was because of her partner.
Mikey, she's a robot. How can you be abused unless, what, did she put water on her?
This is after her ex-fiancé called her out for leaving to cheat on her with Ellen.
This is where I need to admit something. Last year, I was in the papers. This was on CBC, Canada's biggest media outlet. Twitch streamer and trans activist says she's leaving Canada for a while due to harassment. Earlier this month, Clara Sorrenti was the target of a swatting incident and has been doxxed and hacked. And there was a criticism that I frequently got throughout that time. How does moving to a different country help you with online harassment? And as we found out, it didn't. Because once I landed in Belfast, I had people showing up, making threats outside of where I was staying. And I knew
that a security company...
Because you weren't careful with your stuff. And
why
you
is
said
it
was
always
on
with
purpose.
why is this with like locals, right?
Yeah.
They're doxing me, blah blah blah. But they're the ones that give out the fucking location.
Yep.
You fucking idiot.
Yep.
Even if you're a robot, you're dumb.
So the story changes again.
In September to keep herself safe.
I consulted with...
Oh, wait, sorry. With the GoFundMe, she pays 1 year of rent for a new place, hires a security company for TwitchCon and other stuff to make her phones unhackable, which is stupid. And also hires a lawyer to fight Kiwi Farms. But the website's legal, so there's nothing she can do.
A security
How can no, she's a robot.
company.
A trans robot.
And they made all of my devices hack proof. And they gave me tips on not getting doxxed again.
How does
They also help
her fiance abuse her? She's a trans robot. She must be like a really early version.
I want to know what they said whenever they were giving her tips on not being doxxed again. Don't give out your location, idiot.
Well, they uploaded it because she's a robot.
helped me with a whole bunch of other stuff that I can't talk about because I signed an NDA. Like,
God, she's so fucking boring, Mikey.
I already hired a lawyer, and all of the information between me and my lawyer is privileged and confidential, and I...
Self-destructive behavior drew a lot of concern, which eventually led people to discover that she'd actually relapsed into addiction. It was leaked publicly on February 19, 2023, and a few...
She's a robot. How can she do drugs? It doesn't make any sense.
And
mind you, have you not noticed every time she talks, it's the same tone of voice? I'm upset. I'm happy. I got doxxed. I can't talk about it because my lawyer. Fucking dude, these robots, Mikey, how are they going to take over the world?
They think they're going to be happy by being human.
They're going to get abused by fiancés. Their Wi-Fi messes up. They got to get new like stuff. They got to go to Ireland for car bombings and crap. Like, it's like, this is just like, what the fuck? These robots are like boring. Fuck heckles. Not literally, because she's a robot. You can't do that.
A few days later, that Clara admitted herself to inpatient rehab. Now, I'm not here to shame Keffals about her addiction. It's important for people to take recovery very seriously. But the timeline of events also can't be ignored.
What drug?
He says. Keep playing.
Relapse occurred after the attempt at swatting.
Cocaine!
Oh, it's more. It's more. Keep going.
Clara says after settling into her new apartment in October, she began drinking excessively. And at the start of 20...
So this robot. All right. I'm so depressed. I'm going to snort some lines of blow, which is a stimulant. It's a party drug, and it's an expensive drug, especially in the UK, seeing that where would they get their cocaine? Not from Mexico. So it has to go a longer distance. And these robots just don't know how to do drugs.
2023, she started doing full-blown Colombian. And I'm not talking about no coffee, boy.
I got really depressed.
I love you, Clara.
I could tell.
I lost interest in politics. I lost interest in basically all of the things that helped me build a platform in the first place.
Wait for it.
And
Wait
around
for
the
it.
end of 2022, I started drinking.
Uh-huh.
Which made me spiral. It was around the time that I was in fights with Keemstar. I started drinking, and then as more and more shit started happening, I started doing cocaine at the start of 2023.
It's so fucking boring, Mikey.
Near the end of the month, she went on an 8-day coke bender before finding out that some of that coke was, I guess, cut with meth.
8 days into a cocaine bender, I found out that the coke that I was doing was cut with meth. So for 8
About the harassment from Kiwi Farm.
Mikey,
Yep.
one. She's the most boring cocaine act I've ever heard in my life. They are usually the fucking.
Yeah, I
You
know.
know, they don't miss the Tigers game. You know, they never miss it. You know, and then meth. You're super focused on whatever fuck you're doing. For being this boring, Mikey.
Well, this is after she got clean, to be fair. She might actually seem normal if she was on all that stuff.
Was showing emotion.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
It can't be
Mikey, she's a
understated
robot.
What?
She's a robot.
Oh, yeah.
They are
can't do it.
transphobic. It's true. There is truth to the idea they'll call just
Okay, so this is the HRT Catboy Ranch stuff. So this is kind of what I wanted to cover, and then kind of the drama with Mutahar's this video we're taking a look at. Keffals attacks it.
about anyone a groomer just because that they're trans. However, this has allowed Keffals to absolve herself of responsibility of her own actions and pretend as if there's nothing she has personally done for people to distrust her character. Not only that, but she'll discredit any criticism by associating it with Kiwi Farms, the big bad farms. At the end of the day, if documentation exists, then regardless of that source, it speaks for itself. Keffals will hide behind her identity as a shield, for reasons that will become very self-apparent. The packaging is covered in sexualized depictions of young boys cross-dressing. Again, I have to blur this out because it is actually a violation of YouTube's TOS.
So we kind of covered this. There was a homegrown HRT farm, and Keffals knowingly gave money and promoted this for.
Yeah, because you know, like, what do kids need? Fucking, you need some hormones. It'd be a robot too.
Exclusively for children.
Listen, Mikey, we don't understand how this robot works. We're not transphobic, though. I'm just saying, Skynet. This is a weird way to indoctrinate kids into the robot program.
TOS, with text on the box that reads, "Keep out of reach of parents." It's disgusting and clearly falls under the category of Shota or Loli, which Keffals has given her own opinion of in the past. It's already questionable to endorse what are effectively unregulated
And she defended
drugs.
Vaush.
It's even worse to explicitly advocate for their use by minors. Keffals bragged about donating thousands of dollars a year to the site to help people get access to HRT before the age of 18. She said, "I do not give a single shit what you think. I am doing nothing wrong, nor will I ever back down." The directory was even added as a link to her website, with an accompanying chat command. By then, she was marketing her community as a safe space for teenagers. As a former trans kid who is now a trans adult, I want to say, to all the young trans people who follow me, I love you, I care about you, and I will fight for you. We will win. There is hope for people like us in this world. They cannot and will not. Trans. What are you talking about? The directory does, in fact, take cryptocurrency, and at one point even instructed minors on how to buy Bitcoin. If you're a minor, get a trusted adult to purchase Bitcoin for you, or go to your local BTC ATM. Chloe has also referenced minors in relation to an act known as pink pilling, the act of
Chloe was the one actually running the site and the HRT stuff.
convincing someone that they are trans on multiple occasions. Pink pilling minors is based, actually, if they reach out and express a desire for HRT. I have unironically pink pilled like half a dozen minors, and by pink pill, I mean point them to HRT resources after they reach out. So when this was brought to the public,
I doubt that's all.
Several changes to the site were made. They removed Otokonoko Pharmaceuticals and implemented a site-wide age warning. This seems to contradict their explicit advocacy for minors to use the site. 2 days later, Chloe announced she would no longer be involved in the directory. Keffals similarly distanced herself and her sponsorship.
Runs away. Skipping ahead a little more.
Mikey,
Yeah.
Skynet.
so I can herd them all into my ranch. It was somewhat gimmicky with close ties to Vash's community. Most of the posts were submissions made by either Clara, her friends, or people in her DMs. And the page was overtly sexual, and she did public calls for submissions and invitations. Like this tweet if you want to be added to the Catboy Ranch group chat. It was by any metric an adult space, with pornographic art posted on the account and used as the Discord banner. There are endless, and I mean endless, tweets that are very explicit in nature. For example, my biggest regret about getting bottom surgery is that I never had the chance to nut in a Catboy. I'm
Skynet.
And there was underage people in here. Like, how despicable is that?
coming out as someone who likes to
Completely.
get their prostate slammed, and or Sarah replied to her selfie
Okay.
with a meme. Damn ya ass fat, what's your pronouns? Clara later tweeted a meme at Maya about taking estrogen and getting erections. In one thread, Catboy Ranch interacts with both Maya and Princess Emily, who was 15 years old. Now, these are highly inappropriate interactions for someone to engage in on their adults-only account at the age of 27. And this is only what
So we're not talking about just a few years. We're talking a massive age difference and somebody who's very young, very impressionable at that age.
we're able to see publicly. It's also worth noting Maya has since argued in favor of underage people lying about their age to people online. Maya turned 18th in January of 2022 and made an NSFW account to post nudes 3 months later. Now, this is where the story gets even.
You see how horrible things can turn around whenever we let people groom younger people? It just creates more degeneracy.
T1000.
Gorham.
What do you want me to say? Do you want me to say, hey, good job, Skynet? No, we gotta get John Connor soon.
We are John Connor. We're all that's left for humanity, man.
Fucking robots.
Seething about me from behind a block and tried to get his followers to have over Kiwi Farms. It isn't doxing. She paid money to dox her critics, as well as innocent members of their family. It can't be cyberstalking. She got ousted from her own community for trying to gather dirt on who she called a prototypical lol cow. It can't be some belief of criminality. The whole point of getting Cloudflare to drop Kiwi Farms is making them susceptible to illegal DDoS attacks. And when the site was hosted in Ukraine, she posted the address to the servers publicly and then accused them of supporting Russia in some weird hopes that I would imagine would be retribution. Her entire MO is exploiting other people for her own benefit. Every time she claims people are criticizing her, it's because she's trans. She undermines the actual hate directed.
He has the trans shield, basically.
Well, yeah, because robots have that shield. It's like malware and all that stuff, and the trans thing is like a
Hello,
an
guys and
antivirus
gals.
thing.
So, after that video, Keffals chose not to go after the video itself, like as in the content of the video. She chose to go after the thumbnail because the thumbnail bad.
And it's one of those types of videos that I like to make. Now, to understand, working on The Completionist with Carl Jobst. And then, of course, doing this. I love covering this kind of stuff because looking into these stories and actually making visual. Going as far as to watching, I think all Nazism, I think all these kind of evil ideologies.
Oh, she also calls him, her community, I don't know if it's necessarily her, a neo-Nazi. As you can tell, he's very white supremacist.
All Nazism, I think all these kind of evil ideologies are bad, okay? Again, here's the wildest thing about this situation, okay? To think that I'm going to pander to a group of people that would call me a poo in the loo in any normal capacity is actually brain dead, okay? I have a lot more self-respect than doing that.
Amen.
Now, at the same time, anybody that's hitting at me with maybe, ooh, Muda enjoys a little edgy joke here and there.
Of course.
I come from an old school 4chan era where, like,
That's
anything
it's
goes
all
on
us.
certain sites on the internet. So if some of those jokes kind of come out and they may be, it's just because that's the era I'm from. And you know what? Tried to kind of correct myself to be a little more inclusive on this channel and transphobia and all that. I think it's actually quite insulting for anybody that would even claim on some of these boards. I remember when Muda used to read those. Actually, make fun of that behavior.
Oh wait, he's going to talk about his.
Yeah, he
He's
just
talking about his. You
Yeah.
know, the
Creepypasta.
creepypastas.
Yeah, he used to read-
Bring that back, Mutahar. Fucking what the hell?
that's what everybody's saying, but I don't think he will.
Ideologies like that, because I think you should make fun of ideologies like that and really let people know how stupid they are.
Yes.
But again,
Like the
I'm
trans
kind of speaking to
ideology.
a group of people that I can never appease, so there's no real reason for me to go down in this regard. But I feel like it's important to mention why I am not a defrauder, a scammer, you know, an actual like pile of garbage that is committing actual felonies and crimes. Then, you know, for the most part, I'm cool with people in my community interacting with each other, and I'll advocate and fight for anybody in my community. An artist that apparently has been branded as transphobic. Now, the thumbnail
so
for
that's the
video
artist.
had me
That's-
and the target.
That's what Keffals is so upset about. That's the thumbnail.
Well, that's what she looks like. What?
I mean, you're right. You're
Is
right.
that on? The lifeless eyes, the shitty hair, the lack of, you know, a period.
In this case, Keffals, looking quite sweaty and disheveled and whatnot. Now, the reason for this art was I had simply commissioned an artist whose style I liked. If you look at an image of me that this person drew months ago,
Oh,
it
God,
looks
that's
like a
really-
character that's kind of like out of Hotline Miami. You can kind of see it in the conversation box. Thought it was cool. This artist has covered numerous people.
Yeah.
And it was just recommended to me by Tom, Willie Mack and people, you know,
Like
that
Tom, Willie Mack,
we work
yeah.
for. So I had paid him about $100, you know, just a little commission work. The guy's return was pretty quick. We're talking like 24 to 48
24 hours. That's pretty good.
And to draw an artist. Now, obviously, actually a net loss in this grand scheme of things. Now, there has been monetary.
And that artist got so much backlash, they have gone off the internet. They've quit doing work. So good job. Good job, trans community.
Mishandling of GoFundMe money or charity money. Why is that not addressed in this initial
Exactly.
response, but actually the thumbnail, which I guess is apparently allegedly this transphobic caricature, which it's not.
Nope.
And then the misuse of pronouns, which by the way, people have found out, no, I actually used all the right ones. It's
Oh.
like, why are we not addressing the actual serious elephants in the room? Why are we just deviating to the most nonsense points? And what makes this an even more confusing issue is the fact that she also used the same art on her own videos in her own thumbnails. So all of a sudden when I use it, the guy is producing transphobic caricatures, but when you're using it, it's suddenly okay. The whole point of the art was to make the subject look disheveled. That's about it. That's as deep as it actually goes.
Yeah. So more arguments about that.
Appreciate me low-key implying that they were groomed in any capacity. Now I'm going to go back and fall into the original video that I made and basically state that I have in no way basically said that the entire interaction between the Catboy Ranch account or her was implicative or you know, actually definitive of anything grooming related.
Right. So what he's saying is he can't necessarily prove that there was any grooming going on, but if you take 2 seconds and read some of those tweets, that's what that is, folks. It is grooming.
Skynet.
Cora.
In fact, a portion of my video was even dedicated to talking about false grooming allegations being used to paint this community, the trans community in specific, as a toxic or an evil community in general. And that is a problem. That is something that does have my comment section.
Okay, so I don't agree with him on this. I think there are some people that use that, like, just like the leftists use neo-Nazi and stuff like that as a general default. A lot of the red pill community, the people who don't know what they're talking about, tend to use groomer for everybody, every leftist, every trans community that they disagree with.
It's okay. It's like, hey, what community would like someone that's like a PDF file, right?
Yeah.
What community would they want to go to? Things that have to do with kids, because
Yeah.
that's where they get access to kids.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, groomer. Oh, you want to make a boy pink pilled, you know?
Yeah.
You want them to be what was that advertisement on that lemur thing? A trans sissy slut. You know, like where would you go there? Oh, this thing.
Yeah.
Like fucking that's where they are at. They're
Right.
not all of them are that, but that's where they will go because that's access to that. You know, their prey.
Yep.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah. It's bad.
This would be called out by any other channel in the same way. And being with Muta, an Indian guy, for crying out loud, okay? And of course, in this situation, some of the craziest could not have ever taken place to begin with between anybody.
So also, they go after Mutahar's wife, saying that she married him because he's Indian, and that was a wanted race by Nazis.
Over the age of 18, well into their 20s, and somebody. My wife, Jen, she actually liked a few posts of people, you know, sarcastically saying, wow, I guess you must be the best Nazi in the room, being with Muta, an Indian guy, for crying out loud, okay? And of course, in this situation, some of the craziest comments that I read was the cognitive dissonance of a Nazi being in an interracial relationship, LMAO. Smartest rightoid couple. Most white supremacists do, either from fetishism or a superiority complex. You'd be surprised to know that there are some neo-Nazis or supremacists who refine with being in interracial relationships because they view their spouses as one of the good ones, or view their relationships as replacing the race genes with white people if they have offsprings. Which is kind of such an insane thing to read because we take shit from crazy individuals on the other extreme end all the time. You know how many motherfuckers exist that post memes of like, you know, just not us directly, but like a white couple and like a brown couple and like, you know, absolutely like, you know, I guess you could say deformed children, so to speak, implying that our genetics are going to deform kids. It's an insane insinuation to bring up.
Is that not stupid? Oh, and here's a good thing.
Just to bring up how brain dead the discourse was around this video. I got nothing to do with that video. Here, I'm going to I have to blur out the name just because the stupid ranch is real. Though alt-rightoids ideologically err in marrying non-Aryans like Semites, Latinx, and Sub-Saharan Africans, Muta and her are a fairly Aryan couple, and I believe Hitler would approve. Crash course on race theory follows. Amateur racists always screw up on this because they're culturally appropriating terms from noble German racism into vulgar American racism. AKA white is good, everything else is bad. Blonde hair and blue eyes are Nordic Aryans. Jen does not have blue eyes, by the way. But among the Aryans, we have diversity, our strength. Krish, Rassant, you know, I'm not even going to pretend. Half of you guys mess up Indian words. Whatever. Require you to understand PIY and the Aryan migrations. Some Afghanis, English, Celts, Iranians, Iran comes from Aryan, by the way, Japanese honorary, and plenty of other brown hair, brown-eyed, even darker-skinned people, like Italians, are Aryans. Muta is part Aryan because Brahmins are upper caste Indians. Which is funny because I'm pretty sure I've told people that I am Muslim, not in the Hindu section. Again, it shows you the level of racism from this jackass, where he assumes just because I'm from India, I am suddenly Hindu all of a sudden. Maybe look up the country first, okay? But anyways, the Indians come from Indo-Aryan people that derive. Arya is Sanskrit for noble. Though the NSDAP stance on this was Indians have intermixed too much to be pure Aryans, they nonetheless have Aryan blood. So while they may be an interracial couple, Dojangles married Muta because of his Aryan ancestry. This is proven when she talks about the 23andMe test she had him do before dating. Now,
He goes on to talk about he never did a 23andMe test. He dares anybody who can find a live stream where she talked about it. So all of this is BS. Oh man. So to finish up, this is to show you how brain dead this community is. Let's make it a little lighter. Turkey Tom released a video today, and I want to hit on some of the stuff that the lighter side of this.
If anyone finds out how I spent the GoFundMe money.
Oh, yeah, this is also a quote that was leaked from Clara Keffals, whatever.
I'm definitely getting canceled. Laugh out loud. Any person who uses an ugly picture of me in their thumbnail is racist. I, as a black woman, should always be depicted as beautiful, despite being a big, black.
Beautiful Princess Queenie Bobini.
At Keffals has made me realize you are a phobe or an ist if you don't see me as gorgeous, and I agree. For years. From her funding a website that provided homemade hormones to kids, to running a very questionable community on Discord, and having some very weird interactions with minors along the way, to pointing out that she clearly, in my humble opinion, which is validated through Mutahar's video, mismanaged the $100,000 from her GoFundMe page. It's a bombshell of a video, and it honestly will be the lasting legacy of Keffals. A con artist, a fake activist who is totally self-interested, and funded a website that gave hormones to children. Nice to see it. Really not a fan.
Thank you, Turkey Tom. Thank you.
Caricature of a trans woman. Look, man, I don't know how to break it to you, but that's just kind of what Keffals looks like. It has nothing to do with the trans.
You said it, Corum. You said it.
It's her. It's her.
Her only supporters will be monsters just like her. I understand people have criticisms of me. I don't think I'm above being critiqued. That said, was it really necessary to use a transphobic caricature of me in the thumbnail while also not using my pronouns in the video announcement? And this is how these people work. If you call a trans person ugly, if you draw them in an unflattering way, it becomes basically, oh, well, this person is being transphobic. Because they cannot engage with the argument.
Like I said, we're not big enough for me to do anything about it, but trans people are now just robots. I'm just going to call you a robot. Skynet. Yeah. And this is your fearless leader. Cyber Tran 101. Or I don't know. Keffals. It sounds like a fucking program.
Keffals. Keffals the virus.
Keffals the AI generated name for this thing.
Keffals the gender virus.
Will infect your kids.
My B. Oh, my bad. I just made a tweet with 16,000 likes calling this dude a scumbag, but my bad, guys. Haha, my bad. You know, I spread a bunch of misinformation in this tweet, and you know, but I made a follow-up tweet that got 1/16 of the engagement. So it's like, you know what? Based, guys. Hey, before you come out here and try to argue with me about how Muta isn't being transphobic or how it's not transphobic to criticize and others straw mans, read the damn tweet. I just read it, and it was completely to be honest with you. Moving on. Keffals is a bad person, and all of us have been knowing this. Personally, I hated her for a long time. But like, none of us should sit here and pretend Mutahar isn't being transphobic after using this kind of caricature of a woman who looks like this. I mean, that's one picture, a very flattering one with nice lighting. This is another one, and you know, this one is less flattering, and I think a lot of people would probably agree with that, you know, character.
That's fair. That's based. I like it.
I will prove. 1, Keffals misled donors and spent $100K dishonestly. 2, her legal case with Human Rights Tribunal of Ontario. I highly recommend anyone who's interested checking it out so you can...
Yep. So this person right here has done a deep dive into what Keffals did, and I recommend it. This is what he talks about for the rest of the video. I don't want to go through it because it's a lot of... I think Corum might nod off at this point because he's already fell asleep a couple times. You know.
Well, it's because she's so fucking boring.
I mean, that's fair. Whenever you talk like this, people tend to get sleepy.
I'm so emotionally discharged, Mikey. They used the wrong pronouns for the bear that I'm wearing. Obviously, it's a bear.
Drawing the direction to worms, drawing, or whatever. The whole point behind it is to obfuscate the truth and distract the conversation from what actually matters. And it's disgusting. These people should be in jail. Stand down, homie. Nobody exposes Keffals. Make no mistake, Keffals is a genuinely evil person. And as far as I'm concerned, anyone who defends her with full knowledge of what she's done should be thrown in the same bucket. Yeah. Thank you for watching.
I agree with Tom. And with that, Corum, you have anything to say? Now that I've made you sit through all of the Keffals drama.
So I recently had a birthday, and you know, I went to Top Golf. That was pretty nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
Also, every birthday I have, I watch my favorite movie, and it's RoboCop. I like RoboCop. RoboCop's a great movie. You know what? Why I'm saying this?
Why?
It's because I don't hate all robots. I hate the boring ones that hurt kids. RoboCop's a hero to me.
Yep.
So don't come at me at you're hating on all robots. Because my favorite movie has to deal with the coolest one. Now the Skynet thing, you know, with the weird like someone drew me. I mean, yeah, you kind of look like Ego Raptor in that, but in real life you do too. So
Sometimes you have to understand that criticism is criticism for a reason.
I, like I said, like I think I said this before. Year 2024, the truth is coming out, and a lot of people that know things that like, oh, Keffals has always been a horrible person. They're gonna say, he, it, robot, fuck you, it is a horrible person.
Yes.
And like on both sides. And the thing I hate the most is because, back in the day before this blew up, the whole trans like, oh, I'm trans now, blah blah.
Yeah.
You had real people with gender dysphoria that believed that they were in the wrong body, and they just want to be left the fucking alone. And I feel bad for those people because
Yeah.
now you have this new wave, this new model of robot coming out, saying, "Oh, I'm a robot." Beep bop boop boop boop. And the other ones are just like fucking. Now the spotlight's on me. Not only that, you're altering what this dysphoria was for people that were like this.
Yeah.
By just because you have a fetish of wearing women's underwear. Has this age helped trans awareness and trans
Banana.
No, it hasn't. It's made it worse, hasn't it? Oh no, it's got to be from like us non-robots. No, it's because more people are being indoctrinated in a something they don't have. They think they do because it's like you get brownie points. And this robot showing, look, I have a trans shield. You can't hurt me. Well, you have us, the John Connors of the world, saying nay, nay. We're going to shut down Skynet. And these robots get upset. And me, saying that these new waves are robots and not people with gender dysphoria should let you know that I don't hate the real trans community. I hate this new wave of entitled fucking dumb people. And because they think they have an idea, it should supersede our ideas or our beliefs.
Whenever you tell me what I should think, that's where I draw the line.
Not only that, it's to the point where, your ideal, your dumb ideal is affecting people that are more naive and more persuaded, grooming, where then you have other people that wouldn't say anything, but now they are because it's obvious you're grooming kids.
Mm-hmm.
You're grooming kids. This is wrong. Everyone knows this, but they won't shine the light because trans shield.
Yep.
And what I wish happens because like I know in the alphabet community, there are people that come out saying, no, we're not like that. Like
yep.
They're the ones that like I respect because they just like anybody that was like a leftist person and they're anti Joe Biden, they get swallowed by their own kind.
Mm-hmm.
And the alphabet community is at a point now. You have a lot of people that their beliefs are more like jihadish. This is like a holy fight for them.
Yep.
And not a sexual ideal where it's like I'm trans. That is my identity. Hey, you hate trans. I hate you, and I'm going to stop you by canceling you online.
I'm going to ruin your life.
I won't debate you on your views, beliefs, because your beliefs are wrong. Because I already made that decision in my head,
and I can't do it anyway.
The head that I believe I was put in the wrong body, but my beliefs I have are right because that's how I feel. Well, I feel like robots shouldn't be talking because they're robots. They should be doing work, in factories and not grooming kids. And Keffals, you are fucking the most boring robot. ASMR would be great. If she could read like a interesting story, I wouldn't give a fuck because I would fall asleep halfway through. I consider her voice like people writing, like doing paperwork.
Mhm.
That ASMR, same thing.
Who needs counting sheep whenever you got Keffals? You know?
But also, from that picture, she looks like she has a lack of sleep. I would say to the robot's picture, maybe you shouldn't do so much cocaine.
Or meth.
Or, yeah, a mix. Oh, I didn't know that I'm fucking obliterated out of my mind because I'm depressed, Mikey. That's why I shot an 8-ball.
That's what normal people do.
That's like I get the drinking because that it makes me all goofy, but the cocaine, like you do shit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand any of it whenever if you know that you get depressed or you have depression, then you should not do that. Like I understand falling into it, but I mean that should be the upmost thing that you just stay away from.
And like I said before, I really don't trust this robot thing. And don't say she's not a robot because, she doesn't have all the parts. If anything, it's a default. Skynet should return it back to sender, and put the parts back.
Reset. And with that, guys, be sure to check out the Banana Bear Show on YouTube. Be sure to like, subscribe, do all that wonderful stuff. Comment, tell us what you think of Keffals. Be sure to go check out the Leaping Lemur on YouTube, our wonderful producer of this for this month.
And also
future,
make sure that Skynet won't take over the world. We are the revolutionary. We gotta find that John Connor, and hopefully Arnold comes through before he gets too old.
Quorum, did I make you lose your mind?
Yes.
Yay! We'll see you next video. Bye.
Dun, 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 dun.